Okay, we're back with Venice Gondolier Sun publisher Bob Vedder. Bob, I want to ask you about the city commissions. Had a bumpy ride over the last year with these sunshine lawsuits, and the city of Venice has been sued repeatedly for the commissioners violating the sunshine law. What's your take on these lawsuits and how they've been handled by the city?
Oh, brother. We need a longer segment, I think, for that. Well, it started out, unfortunately, it started out pretty innocently. And if people would have been smart and got out in front of it, just admitted that they had erred, done some quick changing of the rules that the city went by and their own rules, I think it would have gone away pretty quickly. They had an opportunity as they got into it to settle, and an offer was made to settle, and they turned it down.
Bob, does it seem to you a pattern that the city of Venice litigates everything? It seems like they like lawsuits.
They have been a pretty antagonistic group that has been certainly have not used the city attorney's advice very well, who's tried to steer them away from some lawsuits. They had a rental case lawsuit that they tried to get them to stay away from. They jumped into that one. Sharky's, that has a restaurant out there, was doing a lease. They had a chance to settle that a couple of times. They went headlong into that. They just don't seem, they just think they're a little bit above it, I think.
So you don't think the problem is that they're getting bad legal advice. You think the problem is they're not listening to the legal advice they're getting.
No question about it. There's no question in my mind that they're just not listening to their legal advice.
There's also been talk about the makeup of the commission, and that most or all of the commission is actually from Venice Island, and very little members of the commission, or none, come from the east part of the city of Venice, Pine Brook area, that area. And there's talk of changing the city charter to make it districted. What do you think about that?
Well, there's certainly a problem with all of the people being on the island. And of course, with the group that's in power, it's growing because they're they're encouraging people from their area to get involved. Nothing wrong with that, but it has not helped with the representation of the rest of the city. I think they may want to have some open districts. I don't know that they want to go to a strict districted system. You may not be able to get the quality of the candidate, and it's hard enough to find enough good candidates to run, and I think that could be the big problem with a real strict districted system.
What you're describing is similar to how Manatee County has their county commission, where they have a few districted seats, but then a couple at-large seats, sort of something like that.
Right.
Okay.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, Bob, thanks a lot for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you giving us your perspective.
Yeah, great, thanks.
Okay. And now it's time for everybody's favorite segment, our Weasel of the Week. Okay, I know he won over some fans. I know he has some haters out there, but Congressman Joe Wilson from South Carolina has to be our Weasel of the Week. He is, of course, the congressman who shouted out, "You lie," to the president as the president was giving his State of the Union address, which has made him a hero to some and a villain to others. The thing about it is that we don't want our president making his State of Union address to be like the prime minister in Parliament, getting shouted at and yelled at. There is a certain degree of civility and respect that has to be shown, even if you don't respect the man or his policies. You have to respect the office, and you can't, as a United States congressman, yell out in the middle of the president's State of the Union address, or it wasn't State of the Union, I misspoke, but his address on health care, a national address to both houses of Congress, that he's a liar. It just can't be done. If he wants to go on a cable news show and say that, that's fine, but that's not the time nor the place. And so for that kind of move, we'll make Congressman Joe Wilson our Weasel of the Week, and we'll see you next week.